So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us for Handmade in Britain online interactive virtual craft fair. So, today we're going to be joined by Natalia Majewska. Hopefully, I pronounced that right.
Perfect.
Great. From her brand Bibba London. She's going to be talking us through some of her processes and techniques which she uses to create her intricately designed jewelry pieces. So, as this is an interactive session, we do encourage you to participate by simply writing a question in the chat box provided, and we will make sure to get to them by the end of the show. But for now, I'm going to pass it over to you, Natalia.
Hello. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to my small workshop, which is behind me. That's the bench I work at. And slowly I'm going to talk about how it all began. So I never knew that I'm going to be a jeweler, but I more and more understand that my work is sort of based on the love for natural stones and natural intricacies in rough stones. So I grew up in a house that was full of amber, similar to the one I'm wearing now. So I loved digging into these bags of amber, and although they were bought for probably medical purposes, I loved playing with them, and they were precious for me as toys. So I remember that. Also, I remember going to a natural history museum to watch art mineral specimens, and it's striking for me that 30 years later, I'm working and playing exactly playing with the object I loved as a child. So now I'm going to tell you about a few techniques that I'm using. So as Lucky mentioned, my organic style, and the title of my talk is Organic Intricacies. So this is only my doodle, I would say, handcrafted, hand-woven metal wire that then I formed and shaped into calf. But because I work organically, I don't only want to achieve an organic look, but I also work organically, what means that I don't plan the effect I want to achieve. I play. So from this calf, I at some point I decided to cut it into rings, and this is how I started a series of my arabesque rings, and now I'm going to show you a few of them. So those rings are based on the calf I have showed you. Oh, the image isn't perfect. I hope you can see clearly enough the intricacy of the wire work. So these designs are based on the calf that I originally made in wire. So these are cast in silver or gold and complemented with precious or semi-precious stones. So that's one of the techniques I'm using. Another thing which I love doing is water cast. So I'm pouring a liquid silver into icy water, and of course I don't know what results I'm going to receive. So usually it's something like that. So just nuggets of silver of very organic form and shape. And then I select those I like, those which I don't like, I cast again. And one of these, this process is used to achieve the woody ring, which is made of many nuggets that have been flattened and soldered on the base. And it resembles a bark of a tree, probably. And again, this can be cast in silver or gold. And some clients ask me to add stone on the top. So I love wood. It's one of my favorite designs, and the name it's actually given by the casting company I work with. Just to show you an unexpected result that I might achieve in water casting is this very intricate piece that actually came out like this from casting. And I'm not sure if you can see, there is a triangular setting, something what really can hold a stone. So one day it's going to be a ring, I suppose, but I love this shape so much, so unique, so amazingly intricate that I have an idea of making a ring with it. I think I have a beautiful Australian opal that I want to use with it. But the thing with me is that I have to be sure how to arrange everything. So I keep this shape and I'm waiting for another shape to appear in my next water cast, or maybe idea to come. So I don't rush things. I might say that I'm a shape and texture magpie. I just collect pieces I love, and I'm waiting for the idea for another lucky water cast, or another technique maybe I am going to learn in the future and use with my design. So this is quite a similar example of just throwing molten metal in order to achieve an interesting surface. Of course, I can rework the surface, I can cut the shapes and remodel what I achieve, but in case of this opal ring, these intricacies I have received in a process of casting. So they both made in gold and silver, and the shanks are equally intricate and obtained with a similar method. I'm not sure if this is sharp enough. Yeah.
Yes, I will say, for those who have joined us, I'm going to put a link in the description, in the chat box, and you can head on over to Natalia's site to see each product in greater detail.
Oh, thank you very much. So let's go to the rings, the fun, the color. I mostly make rings because they have always had a symbolic meaning for people, or it was either maybe to show a status or to show as a reminder of something. So I really like a symbolism of a ring, and I love making rings, maybe because I work with hands, and I love when rings decorate hands, which are so important in my world. But also as rings, wedding rings or engagement rings have such a big emotional charge. So I really love a cooperation with those who want to get engaged. So rings are important in my work, and I love talking to clients about what they want to achieve and the stones, and it is amazing to work and to make engagement rings, because it is so important, and I think of them as the love letters, really. So those are made with tourmalines, which are my favorite stones to work with. Those are uncut, rough, in the natural form. There are only two tiny in the middle ring cut stones. So I love mixing natural, uncut, and industrially obtained elements. So the shanks of these rings are mostly silver, smooth, and the front of the ring is intricate, natural, uncut. I like imagining that they either grown in the nature, or maybe they dropped on the bottom of the ocean and have been fished out after 100 years, and that's why they are so organic, maybe with some growth, like a coral reef or something like that. So those rings are more organic, but I also make rings which are more traditional in their appearance. So traditionally cut stones, and they super organic settings. Perhaps some of them have a central stone with two gems on the side. And again, there is this mixture of cut and organic, which I personally really like. And this organic look has always have been important for me. So as I started with the crochet calf, I also use this technique on different sorts of pieces. And this is a natural crystal that is called Herkimer diamond, which is incredibly clear and has natural facets. So this stone has not been cut, and it's just amazingly pellucid and beautiful gem that has this organic setting, which actually I love this organic arabesques, this gold thin wire holding very tightly, holding the gem. And I usually make them in a way that they can be worn with this drop, but also you can close them here so they look more traditional. Same principle is used in this piece, but on smaller scale. So this is rough diamond, silvery gray rough diamond that has this gold, 18 karat gold setting made in crochet, gold crochet. So I use a few techniques. Everything in my work is about texture. This is another example of those small uncut natural tourmalines. And tourmaline is an amazing stone that can be in any color you can think of. Really, it's the most colorful stone on the planet. It can be from almost transparent to black. So here we have an example of earrings made with this droopy silver setting. They look like stalactites. I hope it's clear enough. So there are multicolored, very thin tourmalines that are set in silver organic setting. And this is again water cast, 2 drops of silver that were dropped into in silver in a molten form, dropped into icy water, and put on the gold long wires, so they look like this. So it's a chance to receive a pair of these drops. But as I say, I don't rush. I can spend a day casting these little nuggets in water, which actually it's quite relaxing. And I never plan, I never draw. I just do my puzzles, I could say. So here I have another example of more granulated work that are very recent, sort of bohemian, I can call them. Quite a large pieces, labradorites with beautiful internal structures. Labradorites are really interesting stones because they are made of layers and layers of material. That's why they have these flashes. So
something, Natalia, that your
yes.
work is absolutely stunning, but we do have some questions for
Yes.
you. So I just want to
Amazing. Yes.
Someone asked, how do you get the bubble animal skin effect on your metal?
Bubble what?
Bubble skin effect, the textured effect on your metal.
Which pieces exactly we talking about? My rings?
I do believe so. I'm guessing.
So
I believe they are referring to that kind of bumpy arabesque kind of effect that you were explaining.
So the arabesque thing is made in wire. Then this I don't know if you can see sort of wrinkled texture. So this has been molten silver dropped on cold surface. This has been achieved by pouring silver to icy water. This is purely by playing and moving silver whilst it's heated up. I combine different techniques. So sometimes I reticulate silver, which means heating up metal to silver into the temperature that the top layer it's wrinkling, and the rings that if sometimes I do as well granulation, so it's adding and soldering tiny little balls on the surface of the metal, but I as well use electroforming to obtain the super organic effect. So I use different techniques in one object. So there is never one thing, one technique used in an object. Maybe if it's crochet only. But I hope it answers the question. I use many techniques to obtain the result.
Different multiple techniques, and you can see that. I mean, your pieces, they look almost out of a fantasy movie. They're really they're beautiful.
Thank you.
Really beautiful.
I wanted to show you a necklace that is probably, I mean, I loved making it, but these are chunks of silver which are hand cast. So they, again, molten silver. I love seeing molten silver, molten metal. It's like looking at lava. And actually, it's I think of processes that have happened during when the earth was formed. So this is a ridiculously heavy necklace, which I adore, but it's 250 grams. So it's really heavy it's heavy. So I never sort of even tried on promoting it, on selling it, but I think it would be a torture to wear it, but I adore how it looks. So if anyone wants a necklace that is that heavy, I'm happy to present it to everyone. So yeah, not always I do stuff that is very heavily textured. But there is always an element of texture. So I hope you can see better than what I see on the screen. This I was amazed with this crystal, because in the crystal there's just another crystal in the middle that has this organic amazing shape. So it's crystalline crystal, and although the shape is very polished and looking very man-made, the back of the shank is organic, looking more like a branch. So I usually have texture somewhere, so it might be within the gem or definitely somewhere in the metalwork. Last thing is probably the few rings that I wanted to show. This is, they are less organic. This is as smooth as I go, but always there is few bubbles, or maybe the ring shank isn't perfectly shaped. So maybe it's not a perfect circle, because I really want to have a little bit of this organic touch. So the center stone, it's a ruby that has lovely imperfections. I love imperfections because these are these pockets of interest, which I love. I love looking into the stones. The green one is Trapiche Emerald, and it has, oh, now you can see clearly, it's like sun rays. This is carbon pattern in the emerald, and the color of this stone is absolutely amazing. I hope you can see it clearly. The bottom ring is tourmaline, pink tourmaline, that I have attempted to cut myself, and I'm pretty happy with the cut. So all of the techniques I do myself. Sometimes I do cast things, love something, and I don't want, you know, I wish to keep the design like in case of Woody. I thought it's so great that I want to be able to recreate beautiful ring. So it is not one off. This is, I have a master, and I can copies of these rings, but because of that, this ring can be purchased made in silver or gold, different size stones can be added. And if you have questions, I love commissions, because I think it helps me to stretch my imagination, and I love interactions with clients, and very many beautiful moments and memories, and as I say, it's exercise for me, which is really beautiful. For instance, this ring originally was made client who wanted me to make a ring. She loved my style, and she had a diamond that she received from her mother. And she said, the problem is that I don't like diamonds. I said, okay, what can overpower diamond? And I thought immediately opal. So I have placed the diamond in a corner, so she could see it, but not maybe flash at everyone. And I have bought a beautiful rainbow galaxy-like opal, and that's how this ring has been made. And I really loved the design, so now I decided to make it with green or emerald and diamond, or replacement stone for diamond if for any reason someone doesn't like using diamonds. So yes, commissions are my absolute favorite. So if I didn't say I didn't spoke of anything, or you have questions, or maybe you have any ideas and would like to cooperate or would like me to make something, please do follow me on Instagram, and you can see latest work or work in progress. You can talk to me, and we can make beautiful things together.
Wonderful. Wow. Natalia, thank you so much for
My
that. It was
pleasure.
amazing, very in-depth about your pieces. And we can understand there's a lot of creativity that goes behind it, all those intricate design patterns, absolutely stunning. So everyone, thank you so much. Oh, we did have one question. Just I wanted to make sure I got to it. Just quickly, which casters do you use?
Oh, it's a small, lovely, fantastic company in Scotland, which is called Jewellery Casting Scotland. I absolutely adore working with them.
Okay, thank you for answering that.
They're my absolute favorite.
You did get a lot of compliments, just to let you know. Everyone
You.
loves your pieces. They're very beautiful statement pieces, which are lovely. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for participating. Thank you especially to obviously Natalia for participating in this event, and for everyone engaging in the chat.